Hey guys, I'm excited that you're here. We are going to be going over the Sunflare Pack 1 presets, and I'm excited to show them to you. There's something I use in a lot of my images. Sunflare is something that is very popular right now, and people like to have it in their images. It just gives it a little bit of softness and warmth and just a little bit of excitement to the image. And so I created this preset pack because sometimes you just can't get flare. And so when you're struggling to get flare, or if there's a tree in the way, like on this image, you have the ability to come back after to add flare. Now, a couple things that I want you to know about this preset pack is, first off, you need to edit your image prior. So if you look at my basic panel, you can see that I've already done edits on this image. So the Sunflare pack will not adjust anything in the basic panel. And so if you have not already made your image look good with contrast and highlights and shadows and all of those things, Sunflare's not going to do that for you. And so Sunflare is something that you do kind of when you're finished editing your image. Now you want to be aware that Sunflare uses radial filters. And so if you have edited your images and you've used the radial filters, it will remove those and add the Sunflare through radial filters. So just be cautious and be aware of that. And if you do need to use a radial filter, apply the Sunflare preset first and then go ahead and put your radial filter wherever you wanted it. So let me go ahead and open the pack first. And you do that by just clicking on the triangle there. And you notice first that I have some toning presets. And the reason for adding the toning presets is just because when Sunflare hits your lens, it often will cause toning in your image, whether that be warmth, whether that be a fading effect, but it will affect your image. And so these are here just to help you kind of get that tone just right. And then let's just talk about the flare filters. We've got vertical image filters here, and we've got horizontal filter images here. And you'll notice on the filters that I have them designated for where that flare is coming from, the center or from the left corner or from the right. And so you want to make sure that you match it to where the shadows are in your images. For example, this image that you see here of this couple walking through kind of a mountainous area, there's a tree to the left of them as we view it, and there's a shadow that comes from the left side and moves to the right. And so that tells us that our sun is on the left side. So that means I'm going to want to use vertical filters and I'm going to want to use left side filters. So if you look at the navigator, I can kind of scroll through these and see all of my different flare options. It moved to the right here. I could also go to my center and come up through here and maybe even make one of those work. But the one that I think I liked the best was my left full flare. Now, as you look at this image, obviously it's made this image too bright. So we're going to tweak it just a little bit. We're going to drop the brightness down just a bit. So now we have that brightness in the corner, but yet we have our subjects looking like they're lit correctly now. And then I just want to add a little bit of a fade to this image. And so I'm going to go to a fade 2 on this image. And now I just might want to brighten it up just a touch more. There you go. So let's look at the before and the after. And so I went from this image here to this image here, and that was using the fade plus and then my full flare left. Okay, so let's move to my next image. Same couple, kind of the same area. Now on this one, you can't really tell where the sun's coming from except that it's behind them. And so what we're going to do with this one is let's go ahead and use kind of we still need to be vertical, but let's look at our center ones. And I'm just going to click on them, and it will just add them to our image, and we can kind of just move through them. Okay, so in this one you can see I get a little streak coming through, and then sun soft right there. So you can choose any one of these that you want, and they all are going to look great on this image. Okay, and so let me go ahead and do, whoops. Let's go with that one right there. I really like that one because it gives me some warmth or some brightness here, and then just kind of these, this flare coming through here. So let's move to the next one. And this is an image of a family, and you can tell the sun is behind them. Look at the shadows. It's coming almost from the left, but I have this little open area right here that I think I would want to add just a little bit more light to. And so this is a horizontal image. So I need to come down here to my horizontal images, and let's go to my left ones, and let's go left corner right there. So that just adds more brightness, a little bit of patch of sun right there, which is really nice. And then I want to warm it up. I want to be as though the sun is actually warming them up. And so I'm going to go to my warm +1 right here and just click on that to add a little bit of warmth. And so if you see my before and my after, you can see a big difference between the two right there, just from a few quick clicks. All right, let's go to my next image here, another family. And again, they're horizontal. And so what I'm going to want to do on this one is, let me come down to my horizontal flares. There we are. And my sun is kind of coming from the left, but also from the center if you look at their shadows. So for this one, I am going to go with the center edge right there. And what that one does is just kind of does the edge of the frame and just does mostly in the center, but kind of bleeds out to the sides. And then I'm going to want to fade this a little bit. So the sun came through and it hit my lens and it just faded them just a little bit. So I just add a little bit of fade to that. And I could go to a stronger fade if I wanted to, but I'm going to go just with just a little bit of fade right there. And so I take that image, the before and after, really quickly to the image on the right. Okay, for the next one, I've already got a little bit of flare up here, or just a little bit of soft glow, but I want to accentuate it or make it a little bit more fun. And so I'm going to go to my vertical flares right here, and let's go to center streak. And you can tell again I need to be in the center because of where their shadows are. And so if I put a streak right through there, I quickly add these elements that just add a little bit more fun and make the image just a little more beautiful. And then I'm going to want to put a little bit of warm fade. Now let me just talk really quick about these toning presets. They actually overwrite each other. So I can just click through here and go through them and find the one that I like the best if I wanted, to find them this way. And I think I probably like that one the best right there. Now, if I wanted to reset or get rid of what I had done with the toning preset, I can do that. If I wanted to get rid of the flare, I could just click on the reset button right there and I would get rid of the flare. But let's go ahead and put that warm fade on it. And then let's just see the before and the after really quick. And so both are great images. Don't get me wrong. I like the image on the left, but the one on the right just adds a little bit more to it, which makes my images just a little bit more unique. Okay, let's move to this family. And this family, just like in the previous images, this family image could be done. I could consider this, to be exactly what I want it to be, but I just want to add a little bit of flair just for some fun. And so let's go to, I'm going to use my left sun soft. So I have this kind of brightness coming through here. And I'm just going to darken the image just a touch right there. And I'm going to want to tone this one as well. And so I'm going to go for that warm fade again right there. Okay, so it adds just a little bit of like evening fade, evening warmth to the image, and just gives it just a little bit more richness that I want to have in my images. Okay, let's move to my next one. Now this is a couple up in the mountains again. And so I want my sun. You can see it's kind of at her back. It's lighting her veil. It's lighting his side of his face. So I know my sun is coming from the left side. So I need to go down to my horizontal flare, and I'm going to just look at my left flares right here. Okay, and again I can click on them. Now I don't think I want that one because it's got right across their face. I can go to that one, that one, that one, and I could just kind of move through these and just kind of find the one that I like the best. Okay, and so I really actually quite like that one. And so let's go with this one, which is left streak. And then I want to tone this one too, because I want to add some warmth and some richness to this image. So I'm going to go up here to a dark warmth. And let's just see the before and after of those two. And really just a few clicks, and that got me there. I hope you're understanding how easy this is. And then it really comes down to taste, which one you want to use and which one looks best to your eye. And then you can make those decisions on your own. So let's go to this one. Another horizontal image. Another time my light's coming from the left. So let me go down to horizontal. And let's go to left floating is the one that I had picked. And let's go to that one. And so that just puts this little bit of flare off in the corner. And it did just hit his head right there, but I actually like that. And then let's go up and do a tone of a dusk plus. And just kind of add that in there. And so just like that, I've changed my images very quickly. All right, next one. Same bride, same situation, same shoot in the mountains. I want to be a little bit more dramatic in this one. And so, I need to be in vertical, of course. So I need to be in my vertical images. And I'm going to go left rings, which rings can be a powerful one that adds a really dynamic look that for some images it doesn't work, but for some images it does. So I'm going to just darken it down just a bit, but I really like that. And then I just want to fade it because I have so much flare. I want it to be faded so that it has a kind of a faded look to it. Let me look at rings fade 2 or fade plus plus. And I like that. So I went from that image to that image with 2 or 3 clicks and just a slide of the exposure slider. All right, last but not least, this was shot just this winter up in the mountains. That's the beautiful thing of living by mountains is you get to go up there and take nice pictures. And I like this image quite a bit as is, but I'm just thinking if I want to just add a little bit of flare somewhere up here that just adds to the image. So I'm going to go down to my horizontal flares, and I'm going to go to my center flares and just kind of click through them and find the one that I like. Oh, I like that one. Let me go to one more. And I like that one too, but I think I'm going to go with this one. So this one is center streak. I'm just going to see if I want to darken that. No, I think I like it just where that is. So all I did with that one was just add a flare. That's it. I didn't tone it. I didn't do anything. And I came back with that. So hopefully you can see how easy these flares work, that they can add just a really great look to your image. They can just add that extra little bit of excitement to your image. And then if you decide you want to tone it, I have those toning presets that are in the pack that you can just go ahead and choose a fade or a tone that works for you and makes your images look awesome. So I hope you're excited to use them. I'm excited for you to use them and change how your images look.